Guys, I'm realizing I'm in a toxic relationship and I don't know what to do about it. Like I know they're bad for me and they keep me up at night worrying, but I can't stay away. Let's have an animated discussion. Alan and his fiancée are dealing with the aftermath of a very traumatic encounter with the evil, the scary, the villainous Dr. Caligari. This movie stars Warner Krauss, Konrad Veidt, Leo Dagover, and Hans Heinrich von Tarowski. It was written by Karl Mayer and Hans Janowitz and was directed by Robert Wiene. I'm in a situationship with horror. I'm obsessed with the concept of horror. I love the thought process behind the movies, the twists and the turns, but I get so scared. I sleep with a nightlight on for weeks after a horror movie, but it hurts so good. So good. So I'm actually really enjoying the horror movies from the top 100 films because they're from an earlier time. I sound like a commercial. And that's why I watch the top 100. But seriously, it helps me because I get to watch some of the first horror movies made, which means they're not really scary, but I also get to see how everything happens. Like, how do we get these first twists and turns? So it's exciting for me. And I'm not scared. I get to sleep at night. Guys, this is a win-win for me. Let me have this, please. This movie is broken up into 6 acts. It has an intertitle in between each new act. So it's a very nice way to split up the movie. You get to look back and see what the focus is for each section. What's the most important thing that Wiene wants us to see? What are the main plot points in these moments? So let's focus on Act 1. In Act 1, we see our main character, Alan, talking with a man who is telling us that ghosts are what caused him to leave his wife and kids. Which is a crazy intro. We haven't even said hi first. Literally like the first line of the movie. We see a beautiful woman dressed in all white, looking almost ghostly. For a second, I thought she was a ghost. I thought this movie was going to be about living among ghosts. But then we find out that it's actually the main character's fiance. And Alan, starts to tell the old man about his horrible encounter with an evil Dr. Caligari. A curtain opens up and immediately we see warped perspective art of a fair. We meet Dr. Caligari and we see that he is trying to get permission to have a booth at his fair, but the secretary is extremely rude to Dr. Caligari. And Alan's best friend, Franz, invites him and convinces him to go to the fair. So those are the main points that we see in this movie in the Act 1. Those are the boom to boom to boom. The main thing to glean in this world is that ghosts are real. They affect the world in very real ways, at least based on what conversations we're hearing between Alan and the old man in the beginning. Not only has someone been forced to leave their spouse and child, but you see Alan's fiance looking very much spooked or touched, as they used to call it. Very important things to notice. This is Act 1. This is a good setup. We know the rules of the world. We know the world we'll be spending most of our time in, and we have an introduction of our main characters. Solid opening. Gotta say, no notes. I'm impressed. Act 2 starts with a warning letting us know we will have an insane series of crimes, starting with a murder. The secretary has died with a blow to the heart by a very sharp instrument. Who could have predicted this? Everyone. Honestly, once the secretary started to be rude to the guy who looks like he has Thanos' chin in his head, I thought, he's probably not gonna last very long. But, I'm not a doctor or a director or a scientist. Detective. I could not think of the word. I'm not a detective, but I figured it out anyway. Big brain energy. Come at me. Get on my level. We also meet Caesar for the first time. The sleepwalker. Creepy, scary, creepy. Did I mention creepy? Caesar. Also, I'm kind of digging the eye makeup. Who then later tells Franz that he will die before dawn. We also meet Alan's fiance, who at the time is the apple of both Alan and Franz's eye. They even made an agreement to let her choose who gets to be with her. And they say chivalry isn't dead. Spoiler alert, we know who wins. Guys, I'm 0 for 2 at this point. Honestly, Sherlock should just take a break. Go on vacation. I got this. We then get to witness Franz's murder through an amazing series of shadow work on the wall. It looks really cool, guys. Listen, murder's bad, but that was a cool looking murder. I'm sorry I said it. Now that we know all of this is when we can really start to dive into the artwork of the set. And I am excited. We really see the warped perspective, the sharp off angles. We see the beauty that is German Expressionism. German Expressionism was really popular in the early 20th century. You can kind of see the inspiration of Expressionism with the cover of the movie, and then the popular painting by Edvard Munch, The Scream. You can see the downward angles of everything. It almost comes to a point in the center. The colors are similar with the red at the top and the blues and grays at the bottom. Scream is Expressionism, which is the grandfather of German Expressionism. Movement in film mentions how the Scream showcases the art style allows the viewer to see an impression of a scene as opposed to the physical reality of it. And that spills over into German Expressionism in film. It's beautiful. It's crazy. Apparently, foreign films were banned in Germany in 1916, which led to a surplus of German films. But since the dawn of World War I, Germany really focused more on violence and cruelty and portrayal over romance and action flicks. That led to German Expressionism and what has led the way for most horror movies today. It's kind of amazing if you think about it. And I do. I think about it often. That same article from Movement and Film stated that German Expressionism reflects the inner conflict in the 1920s German audience by giving their woes an inescapably external presence. That's a beautiful line. What a beautiful line. What a scary line. An inescapable external presence? Inside thoughts are meant to be just that. Inside. But German Expressionism wanted to bring the inside thoughts outside. That was the whole point. They want to make your nightmares reality, and you can see that in the cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I mean, look at Act 1 again. The set is very normal. It's just a nice outside scenario. The trees are bare and the ground is covered in leaves, so it gives a feeling of hopelessness, a stark and barren area. It reflects the devastation, vulnerability, and fear of the conversation being shared. But that's about it. You cover it up by saying it's fall, and no one really has to dig deeper into the meaning of the set if they don't want to. Now look at just this image. This set shows a few things. The BG is a painting, which makes it showcase it's a memory and not current reality. Also, look at the village and how it's painted. Yes, it's warped. Yes, the angles are crazy, but also it looks like a flame. Like, do you see this? We are seeing the outline of Calcifer. It's a flame. It's fire. We are in hell. You can already tell that we are in a spot that is going to be uncomfortable. It's already setting the tone for a movie. We are in a nightmare. This is German Expressionism. Even if you can't see the flame outline in the image, you still feel off because the sizing is off. The angles are off. Nothing makes much sense. And it feels weird. And you feel weird because you know it's weird. That's exciting. It's already setting the tone. And I love that because think about how many horror movies have used like warped perspective or have stretched things out or have tilted things. This is the beginning of that. We are seeing the beginning of those effects in how your set will set your tone. This is awesome. This is exciting, guys. Whew. I feel like a professor. Like, guys, you gotta learn this. This is so cool. You can also see it in the colored filters that the movie was filmed in. I can't even call this movie black and white because the original format was filmed with filters. I was so mad because the version I saw of this movie was just in black and white. I didn't know it came in colors. When I finally saw what the scenes were supposed to look like, I lost my mind and I was so disappointed that my first time in watching this movie was kind of taken away from me in that way. I didn't get to enjoy it in all its glory. Each scene has a different color. You can see the yellow sepia tones for day, the blues and greens for night. This helps us with that warped feel of the world. Even though the daytime is yellow, it's closer to a sickly sepia. And the night is also this like sickly seafoam green. So everything feels off. The color feels off. The warps of the set feel off. Guys, I think I'm in love with this art form. Do you think they know? Do you think they'll freak out if they find out? Okay, don't tell them, okay? Don't tell them. I love this. You know how I am when I learn something new about filmmaking, but it's also refreshing to learn something about a historic filmmaking genre and be more obsessed with it. As you know, I really struggle with Italian neorealism as I watch it, though I tend to be very passionate about the subjects that neorealism tends to focus on. So that's a very weird conundrum for me because I study it because I'm passionate about the subjects, but I really struggle with that type of filmmaking. But German Expressionism, I was sucked in immediately, and that's exciting. I enjoy learning about neorealism because I love learning about film, but I'm excited to learn more about German Expressionism because I'm quickly becoming a fan. And there's a difference between respect and love. I absolutely respect neorealism, but I think I'm beginning to love love German Expressionism. We'll see that. We'll see. It's so soon. It's my first movie. Like, I don't wanna fall too quickly. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Do you think they're thinking about me? Sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, let's back. Act 3. Act 3. Focus, guys. What are you doing? Act 3. We get to see the aftermath of Paul France's death. Alan swears he will not rest until the mystery is solved. A creepy guy moves around and is about to kill an old lady but gets caught by the police. That came out of nowhere. You see the doctor feeding Caesar, which is weird because Caesar's technically still asleep. The killer is brought into the police station, and the police try to search Dr. Caligari's trailer but are called back to the station because we found the killer. Act 3 in a 6-act structure is the first major obstacle our hero will encounter. Some say it also gives a false sense of security that can happen in this arc, and we kind of see all of this. Alan's best friend in the whole world dies, yet the murder is captured. So yay, it's a low. It's Alan dying is a low, and then a high. We've caught the bad guy. But again, something feels off. This guy being the murderer is just too easy. He's dressed like an extra. With the movie only halfway over, it's obvious something is still up to the audience, even if it's not with the characters in the film. And guys, that means I'm 3 for 3. I'm really good at this detective stuff. I should watch more mystery. But I can't cheat on German Expressionism yet. Like, we just started like really talking. Like, I just see where it goes. This follows the outline to a T and prepares the audience for whatever is about to come next, because we know it's going to be something crazy. At least a little bit, right? This is when things start to get wicked. The murderer swears he didn't do it. He was just trying to draw the murderer out, which also, that's a wild excuse. Jane goes to look for her father and ends up finding Dr. Caligari and Caesar instead, which at this point it's obvious Dr. Caligari just wants Caesar to see her to know who to murder next, which he tries to do right after Franz's funeral, which, like, let her mourn at least a little first. Buy the girl a drink, homie, dang. Alan is stalking Caligari, but somehow Caesar is still in Caligari's office, though he's also in Jane's room. Magic. Ghosts. Magic ghosts. Guys, I'm 4 for 4. Magic ghost has to be the answer. But Caesar is parading Jane through town. Look at these angles. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm obsessed. It's giving Gautier, somebody that I used to know music videos just a little bit. Ugh. German Expressionism doesn't ask me out. I've given up on love. Sorry. Caesar drops her because people are coming, passes out, and Alan goes back to his girlfriend only to find out she was almost murdered by the guy he was watching all night. Nani? Confusion. But don't worry, guys, I am on the case. I'll figure it out. Act 5. Caesar is a dummy. He was so lifelike, and we're going into an asylum. Is Caligari an escaped patient? Has the town always had an asylum? Caligari's the director? He has a secret compartment? He's been following the life of the actual Dr. Caligari this whole time? He's being plagued with images of being Caligari in real life? It's too much. Too much was happening, guys. The twists and turns, I felt like I was on a switchback road in a Ferrari. There's a lot going on. The dummy, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't get how the dummy surprised me. I was like, oh, it's just a dummy. I was like, that's a little anticlimactic. Guess I'm not as much of a detective as I thought. Okay, here we go. We are in Act 6, and we can just chill and relax because nothing else happens. They've caught the bad guy. They put him in a straitjacket. They've let him rest. They're like, hey, you shouldn't be the director. You should be a patient. And we all get to go home. Alan and Jane have an amazing wedding, 2.5 kids and a dog. Dream life. Except none of that is true. Now, we're back in reality. Alan is finishing his story, and boy, is it a harrowing tale. But then, again, to quote one of my favorite YouTubers, here is where things start to get wicked. The old man looks really uncomfortable. And for someone who swears ghosts made him leave his wife, he shouldn't be that freaked out. He tries to remove himself politely and hurries off into the asylum because we've just realized we're in the courtyard of the asylum this whole time. Why is Alan visiting the asylum? At first, it looks like maybe Alan is visiting Jane in the asylum from losing her mind for being kidnapped from Caesar. But then we see Caesar just chilling in the lobby. And Jane's not affected by seeing him there. In fact, she even says she's a queen. Not even acknowledging Alan telling her how much he loves her. So Jane's in the asylum. Caesar's chilling in the asylum, not sleeping. Alan's professing his love to Jane, and Jane's not responding. Alan freaks out seeing Caesar and realizes Dr. Caligari is still at large, except that the director isn't Caligari, nor does he pretend to be, and Alan is actually the one who's a little off his rocker. And the director is curious as to why. So this whole time, Alan has been telling a lie. Because Alan is in the asylum. Because Alan is a patient. In my dark, demented mind, I like this idea as a starting point of the movie. Like, this is where the director starts to study the life of Dr. Caligari, because he's wondering why Alan is so obsessed with it, and then slowly turns into him, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. That sounds really fun. Like, it's just like a cycle. You know those reels where they put the beginning at the end of the reel so it's a nice smooth transition? Kind of like that. I kind of want that to be what happens. I know there are holes in my plot, but I think it's a great idea. A lot of people say that this movie inspired Shutter Island, and I could absolutely, like, if it didn't, it did. But that ending was just amazing to me. It was a really good twist and turn. It was fun to watch. It was like, wow. I thought the twists and turns of Act 5 were enough, and they weren't. There was more. Overall, I give this movie 3.9 out of 5 straitjackets. Don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I hope you have an amazing day, and see you later.